Hey everybody, this is Lisa here in Connecticut. I just opened up my urban worm bag and I found something pretty cool that I wanted to show you. So if you remember the video I put in, or put up a few days ago, I showed how I went outside and foraged some food from my past year's garden that was frozen. Much of which was broccoli stems, and the greens were pretty much rotted off, and all that was left were the stems. And I cut it up into pieces. Actually, I had to use a little mallet and had to chop it up, or I should say a hatchet. Come on, light. Anyway, I opened it today, and look at this. If you can see this, I have a lamp and there's a shadow being cast. You see this? It's new green leaves that came in about 4 days from a broken piece of broccoli stem. And I want to try to dig it up to show you. Hopefully this is recording. I'm not positive it is. Can you see this new growth? And you can see how very, very bright green it is. And I'll take you down and show you the end of it. It's just hacked, but it's growing roots already. And it's growing top growth. And this is 4 days after being in this bin. And I am just like, I've never seen that before. Never seen where broccoli that was frozen and almost a year old and chopped with an axe, a little hatchet, I guess, within 4 days is sprouting, just being buried in a worm bin. And you can see this is all decaying. Look at, there's worms in it. Hope you can see that. But yeah, on the outside there's sprouts, and we have brand new bright green leaves up here. So I thought that was pretty cool. As far as the bin itself, it's looking really good, and it needs a feeding. The population has gone up dramatically. There's so many worms in here now. In every scoop there's worms. I've added a lot of worms of every type in here, and they've all been babies and hatchlings. But if you just look through the material, you see nothing but worms. Let me dig in a spot I haven't interrupted yet. I'll just grab a handful, and you can see just the sheer magnitude of worms in this bin. Let me grab something from the back here. And it is European night crawlers, Indian blue worms, 2 types of red wigglers, and African night crawlers. So this is the ultimate mix in the ultimate bin. Of course, it's got the comfrey still growing in the center, which is putting out all kinds of new growth, and at the top. And it now has a broccoli tree. I am going to bury this back in. I've never tried to do anything like this, and when I put this in, it was only so the worms could dig in through the end and, you know, consume this stem. It was never, maybe this will regrow. I am like shocked at that, especially if you saw how rude and crude I ripped it out of the ground and hacked it up to get it in here. So the worms feeding is going to be the very last of the pumpkin that I have left, and it is a whole pumpkin, but it is completely dried out and like dehydrated. It didn't decay. Let me show you. It's a small pumpkin. If you hear it, it's very solid, and well, I can't shake it without send it flying. You can hear the seeds rattling. So it more or less dried out instead of rotting, and it is in perfect condition. And I'm just going to poke a little hole, just stab it with a knife or something and let them go at it, and that'll be their feeding for now. But yep, as for the worms, they are doing incredibly good. And I'm just trying to dig a little bit just to show you how in every handful of material there's just worms. And yeah, they're mostly young because I've been taking the young and the hatchlings from the juveniles from pretty much all my bins, and I've been tossing them in here. I've been communicating with someone on my channel who harvests his urban worm bag every 10 to 12 days, and that is what I want my goal to be for this. I was hoping for once a week, but that may be a bit aggressive. But apparently I at least got to talk to someone who's successfully doing it every 10 to 12 days, and he was kind enough to share with me the methods he uses and what he does with the bin in general. So that's all. Well, I just wanted to share that with you because I don't know that it's as much of a amazing worm tip as it is something really awesome for a gardening tip. Oh, here's the last mini pumpkin they had. Looks like they ate most of the flesh, but there's still some stuff and seeds. But there's a lot of food in here of every type. A lot of beans, some worm chow, lots of leaves, lots of bedding. So, yeah, they're doing really good. So I'm going to bury this back up. And I don't know now because I've kind of broken the roots, although it looks like there is still a couple of little white roots right there, if you can see them. And we'll see what happens. I'm gonna hack into that pumpkin, bury it in here, add a little bit of moisture and some bedding, and bury up the broccoli tree that apparently is growing, and close it back up. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please give a thumbs up to the video if you would. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.